What's up, guys? I hope you're having a great day, because I know I am. And to be honest, I am just blown away from my Halo Infinite video, because I honestly didn't think it was going to get as much attention as it did. I'm very grateful for the interactions with that video. It's almost had 200 views, so if you guys want to check out that video, I'll leave it in the title card above. But today we're going to be looking at a video called "The Gaming Community is a Fucking Joke." Rant, because you always need to put rant in the title, don't you? Anyway, this guy has the biggest boomer logic I've ever seen so far, so without further ado, let's get right into the fucking video.
This fucking gaming community in many aspects is a fucking joke. That's right, no intro, viewer discretion advised. There'll be no editing of bad words. There's a problem with, YouTube in general, and people who watch it is just like, they're so used to this polished crap, pointlessly polished, being manipulated by these garbage ass videos that, that are like, what do you call it? Like tested and, algorithm approved bullshit. And that's just, 'cause people before have pointed out that, oh, you say a lot, or and, or that kind of, well, fuck you. If you can't take people who have certain speech patterns, then don't watch the fucking video, don't listen to the video.
Now see, I would do that, but your bitchy and moaning is too worth that sweet ad revenue. I'm just kidding. I don't monetize these. I'm not big enough to do that yet, and I'm not sure if I ever will be, but hey, who knows?
And I'm just annoyed by certain aspects of this gaming community, and that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to just go in on it and talk about that. So yeah, like, I'm annoyed by people easily manipulated by fraudulent ass YouTubers who don't give a shit about what they're talking about, and it's obvious they don't give a shit about what they're talking about, but they do it only simply for monetary gains. And there's nothing wrong with monetary gains on YouTube, but if that's your total motivation and you have no attachment to what you're talking about, then you're disingenuous, you're not genuine, it's fraudulent to me, and I can't stand that shit. And it just annoys me to see so many people, so many real gamers, so many true gamers who fall for this pandering, like, manipulative bullshit that these guys put out here. And it's embarrassing.
Hold on, I just want to know who he's talking about here, because everyone uploads to YouTube to hopefully make it big and earn money from it. Even those true gamers you were talking about. And if you think that it's fraudulent, then you need to collect those brain cells you dropped on the floor.
To watch these people, and let me be fanboyish a little bit here, because one of the things that also annoys me is, like, all these previously Switch naysayers, people who previously and currently, some of them, I'll get into that too, but previously, had no faith whatsoever in the Switch. A lot of these people now are like eating off of the Switch, basically eating off of the hype, eating off of the real fans of Nintendo. Like, that annoys the shit out of me.
You know what annoys me? That aim.
But you also have these dudes who are obviously, if you pay half of any kind of attention to them, who are obviously not completely satisfied with Switch, which, you're not supposed to be completely satisfied with it. Nothing is perfect, obviously, but I just meant, like, they pretend that they're, uber super fans, but they'll say things occasionally that proves that, oh, I wish it had this, or I wish it had more power, blah, 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 blah. It's just so obvious. And to see these people eating off of the Switch's success annoys the shit out of me. And it just, I don't know, that's one of the things that bothers me.
I've had my Switch since 2017, and I'm happy with it. I mean, hell, I'm using Brilliant Diamond gameplay in the background for this video. Been totally loving that game, by the way, and I've never seen people actually complain about the Switch. Over the past 5 years, I've actually only seen how impressed people are with it, and how surprising it is that it still holds up after all these years.
But I think the main motivation for this video was what happened with basically the Redout developer and Digital Foundry. Now, I have no problems with Digital Foundry. I understand why they exist. I wonder if you guys can hear my freaking mouse in the background running on the wheel. You just have to deal with that. I'm not editing out anything in this. I may not even put any gameplay. It might just be a straight picture. Who knows? But anyway, that whole fallout, if you don't know, go look it up yourself. I'm not going to go over it again. But, basically the developers are read out, threatened legal action against Digital Foundry because of their video. I don't know if it was a comparison. I didn't even watch the video, but I just understand the fallout from it. I know what the video is about, and it's Digital Foundry said it's not about that. It's not that deep, so you know what their thing is. But basically, I guess they were saying that the Xbox One X version runs only as good as the PS4 version, or maybe it has a couple of frame rate drops or something, And that, it's fine for them to show, because they're tech people. I get it. There's an audience for techies, and I'll get into a discussion about that too. There's an audience for techies, and I understand the need for Digital Foundry. But my problem with Digital Foundry is when they get fanboyish and obviously clickbaity. Because I think in the video title said something about what's wrong with the Xbox One version, and I'm like, the game runs at 1080p, I think 60 frames, maybe with drops, and it's by any developer. So for a smaller developer to put out a 1080p 60 frame game is a good thing, and maybe there's optimization, things on one console, but apparently the Redout people don't feel that way, and that's why they threatened to sue, basically.
So this indie company threatened to sue Digital Foundry for, I presume, defamation, even though that is an objective fact that the now last-gen consoles couldn't run any game above 30 FPS. I found a tweet from Digital Foundry, and it's because they accidentally got the scaling wrong or whatever for the resolution. But I also feel like this company would have lost their case, because would that even be considered defamation or just a mistake? I don't actually know. So comment down below what you think.
So, and I think Digital Foundry basically admitted they got it wrong. Kinda. They admitted they got it wrong, but it was kind of a backhanded kind of apology.
They legit said sorry. How was it a backhanded apology when they're admitting that they were wrong?
So, but my problem is the response to the video, not so much the video itself. I don't like the clickbaity title. I think just put in the title what the video is about. Don't. And it speaks to the quote-unquote, to me, fake PC gamers that we have today.
This is where the fun begins.
When I gamed on PC, back in the day, I started back in, the mid-90s. I think my uncle gave me my first PC when I was it was 97, I want to say. Maybe 96, I can't remember exactly. And for me, it wasn't about, obviously the games look better and stuff like that. But for me, it was about the games were just different. It's just games you couldn't get on console because of the nature of the PC and, having a keyboard. You have 1,000 buttons to work with and you have a mouse. So they were just naturally different games. And for me, one of my favorite genres on PC, and still, was the point-and-click adventure. They're not exactly point-and-click now, but there's a lot of games that are cinematic story experiences. And to me, that just has its roots in PC. And so to me, PC gamers were not about, it has to be pimp my ride. You have these pimp my ride PC gamers now. It's only about performance. And it just wasn't a thing before with PC gaming. We knew the games ran better and stuff like that, but PC games were about so much more. It was about just having completely different games for the most part that you didn't get on console.
This is the most boomer thing I've ever probably heard on the entire internet. And that says a lot because we have Dreamcast guy.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here.
Real though, this entire logic is just not it, my guy. Because times change, and just like how people think it's cool to show off their expensive cars, PC gamers like to show off their expensive builds. And of course, people are going to care about the performance of their games because they're not going to want to feel like they're playing a Google slideshow.
And when I see these guys, show their performance of their, show the specs of the game and their benchmarks and all this corny nonsense, and it's usually about console games. It's about some first-person shooter or something. Those are, PCs obviously had first-person shooters too, and I think they actually started on PC. But to me, the first-person shooter is such a console genre now, and that's basically what you see these guys do. Other games, third-person action adventure games, stuff like that, third-person action games. Basically, the difference between console games. Like, to me, PC games are like, big RTS games, real-time strategy games, or like I said, point-and-click adventure type games, games like Siberia and The Longest Journey, Dreamfall, stuff like that. To me, those are PC games, like the big MOBAs and the, World of Warcrafts, the massively multiplayer online RPGs, MMORPGs. To me, that's PC gaming. But today, PC gaming is about pimp my ride. It's about look at the rims on my on my PC rig, and it's not so much about different experiences that you can't get on console. Now it's just about look how much better I play console, or my PC performs with console games over your console. And it's mostly console guys who went over to PC because they wanted prettier stuff, which, I understand that too, but it's just like that, it should not be the focus.
No, you don't get it. Pimping out your rig is part of the experience of PC gaming because the customizability is something that PC gamers care a lot about.
Like I got into an argument. I was watching the Metal Jesus Rocks video. I don't know if you know him. He does he's mainly started with like retro stuff. He still mostly does retro stuff. He's a PC guy. He used to work for Sierra, which was, I think they're still around, right? Sierra, they mostly a PC gaming company.
I would love to skip this part of his video, but sadly, it's somewhat relevant.
And he was showing this video. He had this video about N64 and how to get the cleanest picture on a TV, on an HD TV. And, because N64 is RGB, or it's AV, audio video cables. Was it component? I always get the mixed up. Component composite. I think it's composite cables. And to get a good picture on HD TVs, because if you do that with a converter, it always looks stretched or it gets even blurrier. And it just wanted to show. And there's this company. Basically, there's one guy who does mods, and he has a chip. He has a mod kit you can buy or whatever, and it looks really clean. It looks good on your TV. And that was the point. They get it to play on your TV. And so I was like, yeah, that seems like a good thing. I'll maybe get one of those. Obviously, N64 is my favorite console of all time, so I still actively play my 64 and want to be able to play it with the best visuals I can get on my HD TV. Like, I can still play it happily on my CRT, but it's not going to be around forever. And you want to play it on the TV you currently pay everything else on. So some other guy comes in, he's like, oh man, I can get 4K, 120 frames per second, emulating N64 games. Why are you so nostalgic for that? Why spend all that money when you can? Because I just want to play it on my TV. I don't, I have a PC. I have Xbox One. I have a PS4. I have a pretty powerful PC. I can do that stuff if I want to. There's nothing special about it. You're not giving me any revelations here. I understand how that works. I just want to be able to play my hardware that I have using my controller and my console. A lot of people just like to do that because that's how they played it. And he got into this big argument with me, like, over my preference of playing on the original hardware. Oh, it's just nostalgia. I already have this hardware and I like playing with it. I bought it and I want to continue playing with it. I just want a clean picture. I don't need 1440p to play Banjo-Kazooie or Mario 64 or something. I just want to be able to play it and it's clean on my HD TV. That's all I need. I don't need any other stuff. There's lag involved. You got to buy adapters for your controller. I don't want to deal with any of that. I can do it. It's nothing special about that stuff. I can do it. I just don't want to do it.
I mean, he has a point here. Like, don't get me wrong, N64 has some of the nicest memories that are stored in my brain, but I wouldn't spend a lot of money just to play it on an HD TV, not to mention the convenience of just clicking on a different game in an emulation instead of having to move and put in a different cartridge for said N64, I'd rather take that over playing it on an HD TV any day.
And these guys, they're fascists about this stuff. It's just like, you know, why would you want to play it that way? You can play it with the best of the best of the best of the best. And it's just like, fuck. What happened to just playing video games and having fun with gaming? And what happened to just PC gamers? There used to be an actual difference between a PC gamer and a console gamer, because PC gamers played almost completely different types of games. But today, all they do is play console games at the highest spec, you know, and then they brag about it. It's just fucking a joke.
So it's a fucking joke that more people get to play a video game? Got it.
And it's sad to see the state of gaming as far as that goes. And I mean, you have these like people who you think would know better. You know, they're older or they're old enough, grown men who you think would know better and not get caught up in this nonsense. But they do, and it's just like, what is going on with gaming, man? This is just awful to see, awful to watch. You know, I don't understand it.
You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
People are become these performance nuts. It's like buying a you know, some Japanese like sports car. It was mostly about the games, you know. But for these guys, it's mostly about performance. And I just don't, you know, performance is fickle. Like, whoever making the software, maybe they haven't optimized it. You know, there's nothing wrong with the hardware, which is the, you know, narrative these guys want to spin. It's just a mess, man. I don't get it. I can't stand these, like I said, these fraudulent YouTube channels, especially in gaming, who are eating off of like Switch rumors, and who had no faith in the Switch, and who currently still have, you know, little faith in certain aspects of the Switch, but they're afraid to say it because, you know, the Switch is in good graces. And it's just pathetic. It's pathetic, and it annoys the shit out of me for a guy who actually tries to make, you know, good content and doesn't try to manipulate the audience with cornball ass meandering, you know, news of the day bullshit.
You serious?
You know, what's gonna hit that YouTube algorithm? And I can't stand it, man. I don't know. This is the stuff that disheartens me as a content creator, because it's just like, you know, I know how to do these things. I know how to rile people up and, you know, how to do all that stuff. It's just, I have a conscience and I just can't, you know, make these bullshit videos like these guys do. So, yeah, I mean, that's my rant. Like I said, it's raw and uncut. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Thanks for watching and listening, and now see you fools next time. Peace out.
And just like that, that's where the video ends. And to be honest, I'm very glad to know that us as gamers are just fucking jokes, man. Glad to be one. I mean, shit. You're making gaming out to be some sort of lifestyle or something. But anyways, I know that video was long as fuck, but if you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot, and I'll see you all in the next video.